Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina. Coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And coming through with this spiritual financial report. All right, this is my bread and butter right here, going into, the economy. All right, the Lord had the spirit on me even before I came into the truth to see that America's banking system was doomed. All right, and, I take, no praise for myself. I give all my praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. But nonetheless, the Lord put the spirit on me even before I came into the truth to study the financial markets, to understand, the bullshit they be saying a lot of times. And, I believe through the spirit that, the crash was coming anyway. All right, now, it was happening a couple years ago during the C-19. All right, but through a series of flooding the stock market with a bunch of money, all right, printing a bunch of money and putting it into the market, all right, to save it from falling, as well as quantitative easing, shit that the federal government does and whatnot. They basically allowed it to rebound, all right, which ultimately is in the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right, the Lord, made them open everything back up. It wasn't time yet, all right. The gospel still needed to be preached, all right, because that's the only reason why all hell hasn't broken loose yet, man. All right, we're preaching. We're still on the highways and byways. We're still on the internet, but we know through the spirit for it's not going to be very long. All right, but this gospel, as it says in Matthew, let me grab it real quick. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. It says, I'll start at verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So, the gospel is being preached, man. All right, we're singing a new song. All right, we're calling upon the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds that look like heathens, but their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, to wake up. All right, we're in the last days, and Yahweh Shah is about to come back, and don't be found dead without him. All right. We're calling the Israelites to repentance, to put off the proverbs and bywords that your oppressors have put upon you. Okay, that's the gospel that's being preached. This current system is going to be decimated. All right, and we're seeing the beginning of steps of it right now, and a righteous kingdom is going to be raised up on the earth. All right, starting with Yahweh Shah, King David, the 144,000, and and Israel, man. Israel's going to be on top. We're no longer going to be on the bottom. Okay? The curses are going to depart from us. We're going to be made perfect. All right? But before that happens, we have to see the crumbling of this current system, the crumbling of this wicked kingdom, man. All right? So a major part of the fall of an empire is its financial system, man, which has been pretty much on his last toes, so to speak, for a while now, right? Because you cannot build a kingdom, you cannot build a nation all off of debt. All right, and that's exactly what America has done. All right, the current banking system that they have in place is based on leverage and debt, and the scriptures even speak about that. And Lord willing, I grab it, but nonetheless, all right, they had the U.S. dollar pinned to the gold standard, but in the 1980s, I believe they actually took the U.S. dollar off of the gold standard. So right now it's used as the petrodollar, which is the currency that the world is using. And I know this is a lot of information. Just bear with me. I'm going to catch everything up. Right now, the U.S. dollar is used as the petrodollar. All right, and that's the currency used to be able to buy oil. But we see that even with the bringing together of BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All right, you have any other nations trying to join, like Saudi Arabia. All right, that spells bad news for the U.S. dollar. All right, if these different major countries say they're done with the dollar, there's nothing else keeping the dollar from being worth what it's worth. All right. It's a fiat currency. It's only money because it's accepted as money. But soon, with inflation and hyperinflation coming down the pipe, all right, the US dollar is going to be done away with. And they're going to introduce, as brothers been going through the spirit, starting with the elders and apostles of GMS, the brothers and men on down, is a CBDC, a central banking digital currency, which we know ultimately will set the stage for the Charagma, all right, which is a major end time prophecy that has to come to pass before those nuclear missiles fly, before World War III goes nuclear. So going back, one of the major things is the breaking down of this current system and Esau trying to erect a new one. Okay, they call it the NWO. All right, they call it the Great Reset. All right, and this is something they've had in the works for a very long time. All right, let's actually. Actually, I know what I want to get. This is Psalms chapter 64 and verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, and the secret counsel of the wicked would be your so-called Illuminati. All right, your global elites. And best believe they have their hands in every government damn near on the face of the earth. All right. So, and especially America. All right. America is one of the main ones. All right. Your presidents, your, different government officials, they're puppets. All right. They've been set up. All right. I forgot who said it. I want to say it was Meyer Amschel Bauer. All right. Who was one of the progenitors, one of the forefathers of the Rockefellers, said, give me control of a nation's money and I care not who makes the laws. I mean, that's exactly what is going on. The Federal Reserve is not a government entity. All right, it's a private corporation, and they control all of our money. All right, they control these banks. That's who these banks deal with. When they go and hike Fed rates or lower Fed rates and whatnot, all right, controlling how much it costs to lend money out and to receive money and all that. All right, they're controlling that, man. All right, Jerome Powell is just a figurehead. All right, but nonetheless, going back, just to catch you up, some major things happened in the last week in the financial markets. All right, and one of the main things that, of course, brothers caught wind of Friday was that this company or this bank called the Silicon Valley Bank, which they're not necessarily an investment bank. They are a bank where you can have an account. You can go in and have an account, get your direct deposit funded into that account and whatnot. But they deal with, if you know what Silicon Valley is, all right, that's where a lot of these tech companies are. Your Googles, your Apples, Microsoft, all right, NVIDIA, all these different companies are there. So they hold the accounts, personal and business accounts, of over half of those venture capital and tech companies over there in that area. All right. This is a big hit to the tech industry. And they came out and said this is the 16th largest bank in the United States, accounting for $209 billion in assets. And basically what happened was they basically lost out on a bunch of government bonds, and basically were at a loss. So what they started to do was liquidating their stock, and which that made the stock, their stock pretty much crash, as well as trying to sell off assets. They even tried to sell the bank themselves to cover the losses. After liquidating and everything, they were still at a $2 billion loss. Well, word went out, and you saw different people starting to withdraw their money in that account. And what has happened is the bank failed Friday. It failed, basically meaning They froze the stock on the stock exchange, so you couldn't trade it. So that market value, it slumped 70%. All right, within the last week. All right, billions of dollars wiped out in market value. All right, when you go and evaluate a company, you're dealing with market value, and a lot of it, if you're a public company, is based on that stock price. All right, those are the shareholders, so to speak. But so their thing got froze, their stock got froze, as well as you had different of these high income earners or companies go and withdraw their money out the bank. All right, and like I said, I know this is still a lot of information. Lord willing, I'm breaking down, playing upon tables. All right, but nonetheless, when you deal with your bank, you go to a bank and whatnot. All right, it's they're under the guidelines of federal, not Federal Reserve, fractional reserve banking. All right, that's what most of these institutions where you go and put your money into are. All right, say you have $100, they take your $100 and they go and lend it to somebody else. So they go and make money off of it, and you'll collect interest based on you having that money in your account. So if you go and put in your code, you'll see your $100 always be there. But that doesn't mean all of your $100 or everybody's $100 is within that bank, whatever bank branch at that particular time. So we're talking about on a mass scale, because once again, this bank is the 16th largest in the United States. What happened was the $209 billion they had in assets wasn't necessarily in cash. They had it in different yield bonds. They had it in investments and whatnot. And what happens is when they failed and all these people are trying to come take their money out, guess what? The money is not there. All right? The money is not there. And you have something to protect that, which is called the FDIC. All right, which is basically it took over that bank. But what they do is, you'll see if you go to most of your banks and whatnot, you'll actually see you'll see that little sign, the FDIC sign, and it basically says that your money is insured if you have your money in this particular institute up to $250,000. Now, what's so important about this company in particular is the people that had this money in this bank, whether it be businesses or high net worth individuals, 97% of the accounts in that bank were over that $250,000 threshold. So with them losing out and them not being able to access their accounts and all of this, a lot of these tech companies and shit, hey, it's about to be a big domino effect. And best believe this is going to affect other companies. All right, so just wanted to run through that real quick. We're going to see actually people making runs on the bank trying to take their money out. All right, and it's to no avail. Hey, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Would be a concern as well. And keeping it moving here, a couple of things that caught my attention. Here's something that, somebody shared this in a Telegram, but it says here, Harry and Meghan stand to lose millions in the collapse of SVB Bank. Sources tell ISN the couple sets up accounts following the advice of friends in Silicon Valley. So this is major blow, said one source. They had all of Harry's money there. So not only has Harry been outcast from the crown, but also if his money's trapped, he may have to call the king and say, hey, daddy, wire me a couple. But that's just a little side joke there. Okay, keep it moving. So here's something that was, I got just two sources here where this here shows real life bank runs where people literally are standing outside SVB Bank. And apparently this was in near Boston area. And so you see a nice little line forming of people literally trying to get money out. Now, the question is whether they're trying to withdraw and close out their accounts or they're just trying to get as much as they can get out. But it's good to say with that length of that line there, as we see is kind of wrapped around the corner a little bit there, there's not enough cash in the vaults to make everybody there whole, whether they want it all or more than likely just a little. So there's going to be some issues.
Exactly. And I made mention of that. All right, when this happened, this is just a inkling. This is the reason I'm doing this video, because this probably more than likely, unless you work for some type of tech, and these are mostly Edomite held jobs, man. This is hurting the so-called middle class. And that's part of the global elites plans as well. They want to get rid of the middle class. So this is going to hit the middle class the hardest. However, this is going to happen to everyone if you're not a part of their, their circle. Okay, you're gonna see, just like you're seeing these people line upside to get their bank, try to get their money out the bank, which they're more than likely are not going to be able to. This is going to happen with all these different banks that you bank with. Very soon, Lord willing. All right, the money's going to fail, man. The money is going to fail, and it has to fail for them to give way for this new system. And that new system, which we know will come to pass, is them causing the whole world, all right, to receive this mark, that charagma. All right. And that no man might buy or sell. We know it's going to be placed under the skin, right hand, left hand, on your forehead, in the butt cheek, wherever. All right. We've been straightly commanded not to take it. All right. You're going to feel that nuclear fire too, man. Right. But this has to come, man. This is something that we want to go down, Lord willing, sooner than later, because this is a major testament that, hey, a major sign that we almost out this bitch, man. As if you needed enough signs. All right. But this is just a message to keep, continuing the faith. All right. We're seeing the Lord moving, and it's spiritual because we're still within the week of the Passover. We got, it goes, the 7th day will be, pretty much tomorrow. It'll be the ending of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right. But, hey, remember what happened a couple years ago, right after the Passover. See, the lockdowns and everything, man. And we said through the Spirit, Lord willing, something happens, and we see something happening. So on Monday, when these banks open, all right, we might end up seeing, different rounds on the banks, just because people are afraid. All right, and you can see these people, not be able to get their money out, and that once again the money will fail, man. And this is beautiful, but I'm gonna keep playing it.
Issues come this Monday morning when the banks open up, whether it be SVB or what other banks that I just mentioned that are on the cusp of trust being eroded. So we'll find out how that plays out. And then here's another bank here. I'm sorry, this one here is from Lawrence Lepard, but this is in the Boston area. That other one, I believe, is in the California area. So, but SVB, everybody trying to get their funds out. Yeah, not too surprising. And then to find out, before the collapse of SVB Bank, the CEO sold 3.5 million of stock within the last 2 weeks. So obviously, somebody knew what was coming. So he had a chance to jump ship ahead of time on top of all the other major high net worth individuals that got inside information. It's good to say that their money is not trapped in the system. It's just the people who did not have that inside information. So yeah. So here's a little update that came out today after this afternoon. It says Silicon Valley Bank staff offered 45 days of work at 1.5 times salary by FDIC. So the FDIC is basically paying salaries now for this bank. And so after this 45 days, it looks like you're probably...
All right, that's enough on that. I want to grab this. It's Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 or verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, right? Meaning Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And that's who is in control of your governments. That's who's pulling the strings. But guess who's pulling Esau's strings? The Heavenly Father. All right, but only on the left-hand side. It says, but the just shall live by his faith. Right, we're not going to be dismayed at these different times that are coming. All right, how about you, Shah? Warn us of these things, man. Put the Spirit on our teachers, the head apostles, elders of GMS, to make mention of this coming to pass. All right, so while you people out here scrambling, the elect, yeah, we're going to be affected. We're definitely going to be affected, but our faith is what's going to get us through. Like the scripture say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. We fear Yahweh Shema Shah. Therefore, hey, it might be a time where we don't get our direct deposit. Or we hey, the Lord is going to guide our steps, man. All right, we're not supposed to think about these different things, but these people standing outside in their bank trying to get their money out because they fully trust in this system. And all those people are going to take the sea hill, man. Like the scripture say, he that seeketh to save his life shall lose it. All right, we don't have a life here. This is captivity, man. And we're ready to get up out of here. We're ready to give up whatever we need to give up when we need to give it up, Lord willing. So this won't affect us the same way it affects you fucking people. A lot of these people are about to bug the fuck out, man, in these coming few weeks, man. So, hey, the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, it says, yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, Esau's proud as hell. He's so proud that he believes that his system, his kingdom will not end. That's why they're putting all these lofty plans together. 2030, we're going to do this. 2045, we're going to do. Yeah, man, shut the fuck up. America won't be a thing in 2045. All right, the real great reset is coming. The real great reset is Yahweh Shah and the elect and the kingdom of Israel ruling on the earth. And you damn devils in chains. It says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And we know he's going to do that when he forces that charagma. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, meaning thick debt. All right, this America's already $31 trillion in debt, man. There's only so much the federal government is going to be able to do. All right, they keep trying to do this quantitative easing, but you're just kicking the can down the road. You're just trying to prolong your kingdom, and you're not going to be able to. If the Lord wants this bitch to crash this next week, the Lord is going to allow it to crash, man. It's a big possibility. It's going to crash. They're going to have to let this shit go at some point, and the Lord will work on the minds of them to do so. But if they save this bank or do whatever, hey, best believe the time is coming very soon where, hey, that crash is going to happen anyway. All right? This is all up to Yahweh Shema Shah. So I actually want to, I'm not going to play that video. I don't want to get a strike, man. I ain't going to tempt it. But, just wanted to bring out some information on this. And you see these bank runs have already started, man. And this happened yesterday. Today is Saturday. All right, so when these banks open up on Monday, hey, you can see a mass scram for people to go get their money out, man. But we're going to see through the spirit. So, Lord willing is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.